Today I'm out riding with my son and his newly acquired CB500F. Okay, we're just gonna come up here to a little parking lot, do a little slow maneuver training. Of course, with any new bike, you know, that should be really the first thing that you kind of do. Take it out and see how it handles and slow speeds. I think this is a skill that you should just maintain all the time. So we take about 2 parking spaces. Just like that. Yeah, it looks like that CB500F is handling really well. Here I am in the SCL500 doing the same thing. We'll just go around. You won't have any problem with this bike. Performs really, really well. Just feels really good at slow speeds. Very nice. And I see he's having no problem whatsoever on his on the new CB. Very nice. Okay, we've turned off on some truck trails here, and this is a great little 2-mile loop that goes down around this lake, and there's all kinds of different surfaces here, so we're gonna take a ride down through here and see how it performs. So this is kind of hard packed, but there is some loose stones and stuff. We'll see all kinds of different surfaces here on our ride. Let's just pull in here, do a little U-ey. Again, this is pretty hard packed. And it's a little softer over here on the side, but feels perfectly fine. Okay, back out on this slightly more loose stuff here. So there's a lot of washboard and just a lot of dirt, and this is I think a pretty good little proving ground for your general scrambler type bikes. Okay, we'll take the high road here. Everything feels good. Of course, tires are everything. You know, I've said that on other videos as well. The stock tires on these really aren't like scrambler tires. My son, who you might be able to see behind me, is riding his CB500F, and he just got the Shinko 705 tires. You know, and so far I think that's what I'm going to try on this bike. Now, he wanted those because he likes driving on the road, but he likes to explore too. And you know, if you want to kind of go into some of these sort of areas and look for maybe camping or something, you want something that's gonna sort of grip, but yet those 705s seem to perform really well on the road as well. Let's just pull in here and see if I can do a U-turn kind of in the woods here. Yeah, it's definitely muckier in here. So, okay, there it is. U-turn, no foot down. It's definitely muckier in there. And of course, Nate handled that real well on his CB500F. Okay, we'll just kind of speed up a little bit. And I can feel the surface is getting a little bit softer as we get down further into this area. Now this surface is kind of hard, but there's some cobbly stuff sticking up out. Yeah, we'll just try just a little off-roading here. Oh yeah, it's mucky, some slimy roots, and you know, you just kind of have to watch your ground clearance, you know, when you're doing this. Other than that, the bike is quite manageable. I'll turn into this other campsite here and just see what this feels like. It looks like they put this gravel down maybe a year or two ago. Yeah, a little bit of exposed roots there, but again, yeah, no problem. Turning around, maneuvering. Yeah, the bike just feels solid on this kind of stuff, you know. Back roads, I'm just gonna say, are not gonna be an issue. Seasonal use roads, you know, and as long as there isn't any like deep washouts or something like that, you know, you're gonna be just fine. You know, the bike is still small enough and low to the ground where, you know, you can maneuver it around even on this stuff. Okay, well that was it for the 2-mile truck trail test, and I think it performs great. Looking forward to putting the Shinko 705 tires or something similar to that, maybe even someday even trying the Motage Tractionator GPS or something like that. But I think the Shinko 705s are going to be a really good tire for this. You know, it's going to allow you nice smooth action on a paved surface, and gonna give you a little extra grip there in the gravel. So one thing you will really love about this bike is its ability to go from the highway to the back roads to the dirt roads, and well, if you have some good enough tires, even a little bit of off-road. So what I really like about this bike, it just basically checks all the boxes for me personally. You know, I like to go from the highway to the back roads, to the dirt roads, and even just off-road once in a while. So after driving this bike quite a bit, and also driving the CB500F, I've noticed even though they have the same engine, I wonder if the transmissions are set up a little bit different, because the gears in this bike seem to be closer. You know, it seems to have like more torque than the CB500F. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm imagining it, but that's what it feels like to me. I don't know, maybe some of you tech guys out there, you know, if you happen to see this video, you can comment on that. I gotta really believe that the gearing in this bike particularly is geared towards, you know, more torque, slightly lower speeds. It would make sense. I mean, your Scrambler is basically designed for, you know, secondary roads, back roads, slower speeds. The closer gearing would give you a little bit more torque, a little less upside on the highway, obviously. But you know, that's what's nice about this, because you can adjust that with just your sprocket size. So if you ended up with something like this, and you just you find yourself doing a little more highway, and you just want it geared up a little bit, you know, you can easily do that with just a sprocket change. And it makes me wonder if they use the same transmission configuration or same gearing as they would in, say, the CB500X. That's Honda's midsize adventure bike. That would make a lot of sense, and it would actually be a really good fit for a Scrambler. Great big old snapping turtle across the road back there. You just never know what you're gonna see on these, you know, back road drives. That's why I love it so much. And if you're watching this and you're really just not familiar with, you know, the different engine sizes and things like that, there shouldn't be any question at all whether this engine is powerful enough to, you know, let you do basically anything you want to do with it. Okay, obviously except racing. It's not a race bike, you know. I mean, it's funny because to me, it's an adventure bike. I mean, I can go out and have adventures on this. It's, you know, your corporate marketing team wouldn't call this an adventure bike, but for me it is, and it's got plenty of power. Yeah, so we'll come up the state highway a little bit and just kind of go through some twisties. You know, you can really feel that that low end torque too in this engine, you know, pulling out of these corners. All right, maybe we'll just do a UE up here and call it a day. It's been a long day. I put a lot of miles on this bike today, and we'll wrap this up. So you got to realize also, I mean, I started riding street bikes in the early 80s, and back then, I mean, the 750, the inline 4 750 engine was about the biggest thing there. Well, one of the biggest engines that you saw out there, really. I mean, there was some bigger ones, but that was kind of your popular, you know, large motorcycle engine. And I think this 471cc engine today probably produces around the same horsepower as that 750 engine, you know, back then. So, you know, when I hear people, you know, talking about a 400 is too small or a 500 is too small, you know, I just can't relate to them at all. I mean, this bike will do well over 100 miles an hour. Unless you're racing out on the track, you know, I just don't understand. I don't understand why this wouldn't be plenty of motorcycle as far as engine displacement or horsepower. So I'm going to wrap this up, folks. Thanks a lot for joining me today. And I'm going to give you some updates on this bike as I continue to put miles on it here through the summer. So, as always, be safe.